everybody. Welcome to another Thursday night painting session, and we got the spike trikes to do tonight. The last little bit before this army is complete. So I got the two trikes, I have another buggy, and I remembered I had a shaman in the army on a bike, so I did a head swap and a standard swap there. And music's still a little tinny. Oh, you'd be amazed at how low tech all this is in here. Play. Turn it up a little bit. All right. So I've gone through and I've gotten the first layer of the rust. Where is it? The rust texture on there, so it gives a little bit of grit on top of what we already had on there. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the rest of the rust. Start off with some dark rust. Yeah. Dark rusty bits. Do that. And then we'll use a little bit, we'll use our bigger brush here. We'll start with this one. There we go. Hey, Duppy man, how you doing tonight? Yeah, I've been putting out a lot of stuff this week. Oh, of course, the air conditioner starts up immediately as we turn the music up. There we go. Never fails. Look at those hubcaps. Yeah, well, thank you. They are coming out pretty good. Oh, I didn't even hit those with the rust textures. I gotta go in there with this. And now the music sounds overpowering. God, I can never get the thing to the right levels. What's up, Scott? How you doing? There we go. Oh yeah, I missed all kinds of stuff on this one. Yeah, sometimes it depends on your primer, or it depends on the humidity. It depends on all kinds of stuff. Sometimes I've had primer coats become like hydrophobic, to where they won't take any paint. And at that point, I just kind of get defeated, and I have to go re-prime it. All right. Ooh, that'll be interesting. Toothpicks? Yeah, they look like toothpicks right now. Yep, there's I-beams in there. And then Mr. Shaman Man. All right. Once I figured out how to get the spikes to stick, it was fun spiking them up. You know, the first track I did recently was just blah. Yeah, the orcs. I always wanted to do this color scheme on them, but they do take browns rather well, which, of course, I'm one for using a whole bunch of brown, so we're going to go with fresh rust here. Good evening, Stephen White. How to get the spikes to stick? That's a trade secret. Can't just be giving that out to anybody. Now, what I did is I ended up using, there's a dab of hot glue on the bottom of each of them. And then after that, I would come through with thin super glue to just kind of coat the whole bottom. All right, there he's rusted done there. This guy. Missy stuff. I'm just going crazy here. You want to get all the paint, but it's pretty expensive. Yeah, that's why I don't have a full set of speed paints yet. It's one of those I want to, but every time I look at it, it's like $300 or $250. I'm like, not that bad. I don't want it that much. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get this rest done, and I'm going to show off a little bit that I've been doing for the next army, which is the Wood Elves, just because there's some surprising things with the Wood Elves. It's surprising for me. Oh, they're all out in the garage. Well, not all of them. Some of them are at the pizza shop that we use for Ranger stuff that we haven't used in a while because the pizza shop is actually going through a little bit of a change. We're going to see if it's going to continue to be a pizza shop. So some armies are chilling there. And then I have some huge boxes that I like to call cold storage. When I know I'm not going to be using an army for a long while, they all get packed up real tight, and they go into large Rubbermaid bins that just stack in the corner. I even have one of the big boxes underneath the table in the garage. And I remember Uncle C going, "What's in the box?" I'm like, "I forgot what's even in that box." Open it up. It was like 30 pounds of orcs. Yes, I measure my orcs by the pound. Star Trek Discovery cleanouts. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Hey kid, do you want a kilo of rat men? Yes, we're doing drug deals out of the garage with plastic crack. Okay, I've been taking stuff out of cold storage. Good. With the small orc then only 30 pounds. Yeah. I got a ton of stuff in that box that's not even painted because I went nuts when I started 3D printing. And I was like, I couldn't even conceivably take these to a game. Like, there's no reason for me to have 7 battle wagons. So I think I have 2 or 3 of everything laying out in more accessible places. Oh, hello. Alright, so let that sit. Alright, we're going to let that rest dry a little bit before we go on to the next step. I am going to show you guys something. I've started printing out the Wood Elves, and some of the units have been surprising me just in their scale. So let me clean this out. And I'm going to show you the absolute, 2 absolute units in this army. One Came off the printer not too long ago. It's still on supports. But this is their eternal giant. Look at this thing. The absolute unit that this thing is. There's Sir Scalesby for reference. Look at that thing. I don't know if this thing has 9 or 12 wounds. It's a big old bug boy. So that's going to be fun to do. And then the other one, wha-bam! Giant beetle. Still waiting to print his base off, but oh no, don't get rust on him already. Whatever. It'll be fine. So yeah, boom. Big old bug. Well, for their armor, I'm gonna do, all the stuff I'm doing for them are. Come here. I'm using all the beetle units, so I'm gonna be doing them, kind of like Japanese beetles. I'm gonna paint them silver, and then I'm gonna go over it with a green. So they're gonna have a fuzzy green, like a faded green, or a metallic green shell. And then their weapons and stuff, the only other weapons they have bows. I have 2 units of guys with bows, and I'll just do those in like a darker wood color. Maybe even a red wood color. Okay, time to start doing the rest of the stuff. We are going to start with the skin, and that is Desolation Brown, the olive color, if I can find it one of these days. Every week I tell myself I am going to organize stuff. Yeah, there's a big old bug. Hey, Tanzgore Lover, how you doing tonight? Okay, let's go through and start doing some skin. This is our Shaman Biker. Let's see here. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Iridescent style. I may even get some Turbo Dork colors to use on those. I'm not 100% sure. I used some Turbo Dork stuff years and years ago, like when it first came out, and I was not impressed with it back then. And I know they've changed things up, but I still have that image in my mind of what they did back then. Yeah, I tried to use it years ago and it just did not work out. And then I heard you're supposed to do 2 coats with it. One you're supposed to do up and down, and the other one you're supposed to do side to side. And hearing that, I was like, oh, that just sounds like work. We don't need perfection, we need color. here with this. We're not being super precise with it because everything at the end is just going to look so dirty and rusty. A little bit of run over on the colors in there probably will add character to it. No, this is these masks are. This is a head that I got off a different orc set. I forgot who made it, but it's an STL file I had for orc commandos. I was just looking for somebody who had a full face mask. I was actually looking for like someone that had the face that looked like a Tusken Raider for these guys, but this is about as close as I could get out of the collections that I have, and it works. Yeah, that all depends on your primer. And I found that Rust-Oleum stuff, when you use that for a primer, because like GW with a contrast paint, they have their Wraithbone and Corax White, or whatever it is, whatever the color for their primers are, it is supposed to come out just a littlest bit gritty so that it will hold the contrast paint in place while it dries. And the funny thing is, Rust-Oleum does that right for, $6 a can. So I will take that all day long over paying 30 for a bucket, or 30 for a spray can of GW stuff. Yeah, with the Rust-Oleum white primer, what you got to worry about, what you got to look out for is the cap, because if it clogs up, you're going to start to get sputtering out of it. And sometimes that could be a cool effect, like the my bat army. They have that spattering effect on there, totally accidental, and I was like, "Ooh, I could use this." Let's see, what painting technique did I use before? I've always used like inks and washes, like not like GW inks, but like Indian inks and artist inks, alcohol inks. So like those kind of go on like speed paints do, but you don't have the color variation, so I'd have to mix all my stuff up every time I went to use it. That and just very thinned out layers of paints to glaze on stuff. That, and I've used like tricolor methods before, where every color you have the mid-tone and then you have the base. You have the mid-tone and then you have a darker tone and a lighter tone. You start with the darker tone, mid-tone most of the piece, and then do the highlight with the lighter tone. I did that for years. Well, I think with the spikes upgrade, I think they have like impact 6 or 8. So I definitely gave them all the spike upgrades. Okay, time for the clothes, which is, what color is that? That is burnished red for the clothes, or for the shirts at least. I've got little supports all over the place up here because I took a bunch of stuff off supports today. Yeah. What size brush? I have no clue. I got these out of a like a $10 pack. I think I got these from Michaels. So I couldn't tell you. Probably like a this might be a one. It's like a long one. What's my least favorite thing about the war game hobby? Ooh. I hmm. I mean, I like everything about the hobby. Um, Probably the worst part to me is when I can see defeat coming from like 3 turns away, and I'm like, I'm always like, hold out hope. Maybe you could do something. They could screw up, and then they just don't. So that dread of just like going through the motions for 3 turns. At least in OPR, that feeling only lasts like 45 minutes. Or in 40K, that could be hours. It's a feeling I'm trying. Like it's a feeling that I know normally isn't true. Like for the tournament that we have coming up here in Flint, Uncle C is going to be playing in it, and he made an army of gators. And so we did a little test game last night. And like about turn number 2, he's like, "Oh God, this sucks. This army's bad. I'm never going to win." And then I just showed him, look, this here, there. I showed him how to do the moves, so that he ended up winning on turn number 4. And just completely like he did a 180 on it. He's like, "Oh yeah, this army's awesome now." Like, okay. See, I like the building part to a point. I don't like 15 part regular troops, but if they're like 4 or 5 parts, I think that's all right. It's all in the mindset when you're doing it. Like most of the time people you happy the robots went around damn dirty robots. Yeah, most people whenever they like sit down and they paint stuff, normally it's in crunch time where they have an event or something coming up, so they're trying to rush through it. That I can see getting pretty hectic. Oh, hello, Silver Scratch Build Productions. How you doing? Yeah, so if you're not rushing through it, it can be kind of cathartic. Um, but yeah, if you're trying to rush through stuff, the build part can get tedious because it's designed to take a while. At least through like GW kits, it's designed to take a while. That's how they leverage that into like value added to it. So I very much I don't think I'll be having to paint with crunch time. Yeah. Yeah. Also, very much like that, OPR does most of their stuff in single pieces now. You can still do modular, but I definitely like the hit the button, comes off the printer, and it is ready to go real quick. Yeah, sunk cost fallacy inducing, yes. Oh, awesome. I see. We always need more orc players. Once again. I used to have some crazy orc conversions with my first orc army that I had years and years ago. Like I had, I got like 6 or 7 old classic Ford Rangers from the model shop, and then I painted those up, beat them to hell, ripped some parts off, put some guns on it. Since the bug you showed has a slice of small, see why someone grabbed me. Yeah, yeah. The bug is the size of a small brick. Yeah, that one was 6, 7, 8. There's 9 pieces on that one, so I'm fine with it for something that size. Yeah, I had some old Ford Rangers that turned into my trucks from back in 4th edition, and then I had orcs that I green stuffed trucker hats on to be leaning out the windows. Then I had some half tracks. There was a company that did like perfect 28 millimeter scale World War II model toys to a pirate themed battle fortress. Yeah, exactly. But they did some cool World War II like the right scale for us toys. They were made out of soft plastic. So I had 2 half tracks out of that. One of them I turned into the gun truck, which was at the time it was a battle wagon that you could put I think 6 big shooters on, and then you could put on 5 more bolt-on big shooters, and they could be fired by the crew inside. So I had all those big shooters and I had 10 grots inside of it. So I modeled it up with just fountains of brass coming off of these machine guns. Oh, I loved that army. Where do these come? The base of these are from one-page rules. Uh, the things that are different is I put on the I-beams and the toothpicks for the spikes because I'm modeling these guys off of the buzzards from Mad Max. The guys had all the spikes and rust everywhere. And then the heads I switched out with a orc commando head that I had in my files. So these are all 3D printed. Except for the toothpicks. Everything here is 3D printed. What's the next color? Leather. Leather for the pants. Well, let's do something different. Let's do sand golem for the pants. Why? Because I want to be a little different. That's the wrong brush. So speaking of orc bikers, the third round of Nexus's tournament. Brown base rims are so underrated. Yeah, I should do brown on these guys. It would fit. But the third round of Nexus's tournament was this week. And I played in that earlier today. And the video I've already put up there. Spoiler alert. I lost the third game. My army was definitely not built for the missions that were in that tournament. With no scouting in it, and 2 out of the 3 being progressive missions, it was just hard for me to get to the objectives on the other side of the board before the other people got them. Oh, awesome. I'm going to do a video with these guys for like an orc video of the week or an army of the week for these guys, and then I'm going to do a fun battle with these because I have the other main faction of orcs that I have out in the garage are like war boys from Mad Max, and I think I have 3 different Giga horses. I've got one that is just a huge brick whenever I want to use it as some massive battle fortress, and then I have 2 smaller ones, one for a battle wagon and one for a truck. There's one. Yeah. So I'll have fun shooting that video. I'll have to pull in voice lines like "witness me" and most likely mediocre because my orcs always fail. But it's orcs fighting against orcs, so they're going to fail together. Ooh. Ooh, look at all those supports on his butt. Hold on one moment. There we go. There we go. A little bit better. Well, something I am doing on the channel now, I've just the new idea for a video that I came up with is that I'm going to do something like Friday Night Fights, where once a week I'm going to pull somebody off the Discord and we're going to play a tabletop simulator game. And they can take whatever army they want, and I have to spin the wheel to pick what army I take. The first one of those is coming up tomorrow. Yeah, today's Thursday. It's coming up tomorrow, where I play against Alpha Nerd Gaming. Not gonna spoil what army I got, but let's just say when the wheel finally fell on who it was, I was like, ah, crap. Okay, so now the banding is going to be pallet bone. Just a little bit. No way, there's banding up there. Oh, awesome. I'm definitely gonna have to put my big one in. I have to fix the axle because that thing is snapped. The brothers that you mean the what were they, the Watch brothers? Oh, awesome. Okay, you're set. Okay. Yeah, I love that these guys are just such a mess. Some people would definitely do precision paint jobs all these, but not me. I'm like, everything, dude, rust gets all over everything. So if I got some rusty pieces here and there, that's fine. Why? Well, because it's a fun option to put on there. There's a lot of units that are just head scratching. Like, why would that be there? What? How? Why? Woo? Huh? Okay. And again, if anybody's new here, I do an oil wash on everything at the end, so that covers up a lot of my sins, we'll say. Lets me get away with a lot. Like these guys back here, they've already been oil washed. They're going to get a little bit more touch up to them after the oil wash, but they are basically done. Okay, Satchel Brown time for boots and belts and stuff. Where are you? You're right in front of me. Yeah, a little more than that. There we go. I'm going to do one drip of the Flow Aid. Hello. How you doing tonight? Boots and belts and belts and boots. I missed his banding, the ones I went back for initially, but okay, we'll do that color. He twisted my arm. No, it doesn't matter what your orc skin color is. It's all kinds of different colors skinned orcs. I did a whole video on that a while ago. And then I got all my extra colored skinned orcs over in my dump bin over there. Listen, you don't need my permission. Orcs is orcs. I did see a funny model though. Someone printed orcs out of the transparent resin, and then had a base with like a purple pot of paint on there because the orcs think purple makes you turn invisible. At least the 40k orcs do. So I had a little chuckle at that. Well, they think you can't see them. Okay. I need a new paper towel. True. I've never seen a lame orc. Okay. Silver. right there. I think a purple orc army would look awesome too. Okay, so we're gonna go through and make sure that we get the headlights in this silver color. Alright. Now we're going to use a bigger brush. Silver there smell. Oh, this is different. This is different clan orcs. I got those guys out there. Oh, those are already done. Little stabs of silver paint. Oh, these are from one-page rules. Mostly. I have done some changes to them. That's that. Again, when I do the oil wash, all these colors are going to get muted down, so I'm going to have to go back later on to do, just a little quick dry brush on stuff after the oil wash. All right, now let's move on to the black stuff. We're going to start with the faces, face masks. There it is. What's the Dementis army going to look like? I haven't thought that far yet. It could have been this. I was thinking about doing him because, if it was a full biker gang, I would have, but I couldn't resist the spikes on the buggies. So he don't need it, but he does need it on the handlebars. And the guns. And the feathers, I'm going to do that blue black. Oh, forgot the strap around the head. There we go. See random hair sticking up. So yeah, what else we got to talk about? Oh, there's the campaign started this week. Started yesterday. Had the first episode out. Hope to see all you guys sending in battle reports. And I've been asked, yes, Tabletop Simulator will count. Play quite a bit. I play a lot. It's bordering on too much. But usually at least 3 games a week. And then over the last month, I've been doing the Nexus War Games tournament and the UK tournament. So there was an extra 7. Never played anyone ever. Well, I don't know where you're at in the world, but if if you're looking for a game and you want to do like you could do it over the internet if you have Tabletop Simulator. People on my Discord and then the OPR main Discord, they're always there looking for games. All right, do some more black. Now we're gonna do the tires. Bigger brush. That one will work. That is the absolute truth. Some minis definitely are easier to paint than others. I don't know. And for some reason, even though my paint jobs, I know my paint jobs aren't the best. What I'm going for is an army that once you put it all together, looks coherent. So you don't have to hit every detail. You don't have to do massive shadings to things. You don't have to work on gradients. As long as you are happy with the product that you end up with, that's all that matters. Like in years past, I have won painting competitions. And I've been super competitive in 40K, and I've gone to tournaments across the country, and I'm just not that guy anymore. Exactly. If you're happy with the way your ret men come out, that's all that matters. Well, getting a giant army, that's just one of the things that'll happen over time. Don't use me as the example. I'm ridiculous. Surprisingly, right now my printer has nothing going on it because I've run out of resin. And I ordered more. I did order more resin, but 456 minis a month. Yeah, in 1 month that does count as a large army. Yeah, I ran out of resin, and when I went to order more, I just looked at the price and said, "Yeah, sure, that one. It's cheaper than it normally is, because they're always running deals on Amazon." And then I got to the checkout screen. It says it won't be here till July the 6th. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had just enough left to scrape by with the wood elves. That's all right. I'm so far ahead of schedule. I'm like, I think, what was it, Trainaholic? You remember? What am I, like 3 weeks ahead? Something like that. So I'll have the resin here and plenty of time to get the next army started. Okay, so that is that. What now? Okay, the feathers. Feathers are going to be occult blue. I just have to find it around here. Or occult black. It's kind of a blue black. Or did I already pull it? I did. Occult cloak. Hello, Architect Paint. Architect of Paint, how are you doing tonight? Not that brush. Not that brush. Oh, I need a brush. Maybe. Yeah, sure. Yeah, since these guys are the Buzzard clan, they're going to be getting Buzzard feathers. Plus, they're on bikes with guys that are riding in the desert, so they're going to pick up all the nastiness. Ooh. Well, I'm glad you could stop by. Then post feathers there. Do I know anything about Form? No, I don't know anything about Formlabs resin. Never used their stuff. Your Rust Orc is coming along. Well, thank you. My LGS guy was telling me he buys 150 per liter resin. 150 bucks per liter? That, I mean, that shit better be perfect. Ooh, just, ugh. My main one I use is the I forgot what it's even called. What was it? Oh, Sunlu ABS resin. And when I buy it in the 3 kilogram bottles, it's only like $40 because normally they're running a sale on it. No odor, smooth. I mean, yeah, but at that point, can we get freedom units? Well, it's about a kilo a liter, give or take. That's all the feathers on this one. Yeah. Yeah, right. A few little finishing touches before. What the heck is a freedom unit? It's what us Americans measure stuff in. That thing, 14 bald eagles and 3 fireworks. It was the length of 7 football fields. Is it bigger than a Nathan's hot dog? Tabletop date night coming in while I'm making my Americanisms. It's sad, but it's true. Yes, these are 3D printed models. Mostly. There is no wrong way to build an orc. The orc is always going to do what the orc does. The question is, how efficient will he be? Yeah, so the rockets are going to be red when I do the oil coat, and then after that, I'm going to put a tip of yellow on each one of them. But this way, if I put the yellow on now, it's just going to turn to brown after the coat. Alright, what else we got to do? I'm going to go through and hit those skulls again, hit the bones again with the white, and then let's go do the shaman's face mask. Let's go ahead and do that now. Where's my wood color? There we go. There was a short story that GW did years ago about an orc that got separated from the rest of his clan. He was captured by the Imperials or something. They were questioning the orc. And over time, like without the other orcs there, he just kept getting smaller and paler. So that eventually, when the Inquisition showed up, he looked like an Ogren. They're like, what is this? It's not an orc. Of course, that's a deep cut from like the 90s, so I doubt it's even... I don't think that works anymore today. So Ogrins are just work models. Well, I mean, back then, they're pretty damn close. If you go look at the old 2nd edition and 3rd edition Ogrins and paint them green, they could pass as an orc. I mirrored this one. I've tried to get ChatGPT to do stuff for me, or Grok, or what was it, Element Labs, I think is the other one. And like every time I use the AI, everything comes out so weird. It's like I'd have to rewrite 90% of this. Does it even count anymore? Oh, okay, that's pretty. Well, I tried to get it to. I tried to get it to help me when I was doing the narrative campaign for the elves and the robots, and we'll just say what it came out with was something that I would never use. I was just like, what is this computer on right now? Of course, probably because I'm not paying for it. So, me. All right. So guys, it might not look like much yet, but as far as paint goes, these are complete. After this, it's oil wash and then a little bit of touch-up. And then the bases. Which I'm going to do sandy bases, of course. I'm going to try to get a little bit of orange in the sand to look like it came off of Fury Road. And yeah, they are going to join. They're going to join this growing batch of stuff. That's going to go out and get a seal coat. And then oil washed. So yeah, oh, you can't even see them all. So there's the one from Monday, our 2 trikes, the one from tonight, Shaman, a unit of 7 bikes, and then a unit of 7 bikes back there that have already been oil washed, and that is a 2,000 point army. Very small compared to what I normally do. Normally, oh god, even with the fantasy stuff, I got a question coming up in that fantasy, the next fantasy army that I do, because I was like, I think I might move the fantasy games to 1,500 points because it is getting ridiculous. I did the Havoc Warrior one coming up. It had like 130 models in it. It's just like, I need to start building bigger stuff. That's why the Wood Elves are going to have this guy, 2 of that guy, and then this guy in it. There's all the bases for him. So yeah, I'm kind of 2,300 points. Yeah. See, this is hollow. This is nice. I'm gonna have to cure a little bit up the top there. It looks like a little bit came out. I haven't cured these yet. And then this guy is solid. So he is a brick. So guys, that's going to do it for me tonight. Oh, wait. Here's the rest of that army. It's just 39 more models on top of 2 of those and that guy. So yeah, guys, that'll do it for me tonight. Yeah. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are, and I'll catch you later. Good night.